So it's the middle of the night. A while ago, there were footsteps around the hammock, which was pretty freaky. So I started yelling just to see if I could scare off whatever it was. And it stopped, but then it started walking around again. So I got unzipped and ducked under my cover, and it was a deer. And it was persistent, which is fine. But it's kind of a bummer for a night's sleep to have that happen. And then it got really windy, and still really windy. And I tied my hammock onto a really young tree on one end, and that tree is bending in the wind and then snapping back, kind of like, it's not going to come down or anything, but it makes the hammock bump up and down a lot. So between all the wind and the bumping around and the noise of the woods, it's been a lousy night's sleep. I'm going to try to get a little more, because otherwise I'm going to be exhausted tomorrow. So yeah, not a great night's sleep last night. I was up a lot, and I'm tired this morning. I don't know how that'll affect my day or how far I'm going to go, but it was not a great night's sleep. But the wind was blowing and everything, but everything, seems to be designed to handle it. I had no problems with my tarp or anything. Just noisy and bouncy with that little tree. I knew better than to set up on that tree, but I was tired and kind of looking for options, and it looked like it was a decent one, but I didn't expect the wind to blow like that all night. Anyway, let's see how I do today. So I ended up stopping at the camp store at the Wayside, which I had planned to pass an hour plus before it opened, but because of my late start, sleeping a little later, I got there, 20 minutes before they opened, used their bathroom and everything, and by the time that was all set, I was able to go in the store, got myself a couple of cold Starbucks mocha drinks, a couple of containers or packages of Pop-Tarts. So I was able to grab like an extra 1,000 calories and just throw them down, which I know sounds so different than in the real world, but that's going to help a lot today, I think. It is hot and no wind now. Man, it blew all night, but it's not windy now. So I think I'm going to probably change my plan. I was going to do 25 today and get past the road junction where people go to Fort Royal. There's a hostel there I called yesterday that's right on trail. Thought, why not? Why not stay there in a bunk room? But they were full for tonight, so that's not going to happen. But that's no big deal. Weather's good and staying on trails, no problem, except the water today is tough. It's 13 miles between water sources, 90 degrees out. So I bought a big jug of Gatorade, big container of Gatorade, just to add to the 2 liters of water I'm carrying. Hopefully that'll get me through those 13 miles comfortably. It'll get me through safely for sure. Hopefully comfortably. And just try to figure out where I want to stay tonight. Ran into Paca and Starbucks and Lightfoot, who have been in the same orbit with TBD and a few other people, and I've been bumping into them for weeks and weeks. So they're doing shorter distances, but they kind of never take time off. They are going to take a day off and go into Washington, D.C., which is now sort of the hub around here, which is kind of cool to think about. It's no longer Atlanta or, whatever. It's Washington, so good progress. Anyway, they're very nice people. It's nice to bump into them, and I've done some hiking with them, probably do some more before it's all said and done. But I'm going to take the 00 north of Harper's Ferry, and they're taking a 0, so maybe I will bump into them again. Anyway, it's nice to have nice people. Lightfoot's getting off the trail. He was only doing the section. I think he was doing Georgia to Harper's Ferry, so he's done in a couple days. But most of the other people in this orbit will be going on, and you just keep drifting in and out of seeing them, and it's nice. Oh, and one more thing on the topic of people getting off trail. So TBD's off trail for a couple days. He had his feet so bandaged up from blisters and such that he got in a snowstorm way back. I don't know how far back, but it's got to be a few weeks. And his feet were more than 50% covered with bandages, several layers. So even though he was hiking well, he was covered. And I guess he's had some kind of a reaction to all that plastic material or whatever it is that's in the bandages. So he's off trail for a couple days, at least. And then you might remember from way back, Stealth, from before I got COVID. Stealth got off trail because his feet were bad and took a week or two off in Maine at a friend's house. Got back down to New Jersey to get back on trail, walked 5 miles, and his feet were so bad that he realized he couldn't do it, and he's flown back to California. So he's probably done. What a shame. He's such a good hiker, and he was doing so well. It does seem like at this point the injuries are starting to pile up on people. Knock on wood, I'm still feeling good. No shin splints, a couple blisters, but they're under calluses, so I can't easily pop them. I don't think I'm going to. Just let them work themselves out. And other than little minor tweaks and twitches, I feel pretty good, knock on wood. But you're hearing a lot of people with injuries at this stage. And down into the valleys of West Virginia. Skyline Drive in the foreground here. It is a hazy, hot, and humid day. It's supposed to be 97, my brother said, in Maryland, which has got to be similar to what we're going to get here. This elevation probably helps a bit. I'm not sure what the temperature is right now. I don't carry a thermometer. It'd be interesting to have one, but I'm sure I could look at the internet and get a sense. It's got to be, in the 90s today. Maybe not yet. It's probably 85 right now or something. It's about 10:30. But you can just see the thickness of that haze. So, gonna have to manage the fluids big time today. And just take it a little easy. Right about on the summit of Mount Marshall, and looking still into West Virginia, same kind of general area, but just moving north. There's a nice breeze, which feels really good today. It's not exactly a windstorm, but just a puff feels pretty good, as it is, I don't know, 85, 90, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm up at 32, 33, 3,400 feet. So I'm sure it's cooler than down in the valleys, but it is hot, and I am sweating. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I think I've only done 12 or 13 miles, maybe 14. I'm going to stop in 3 or 4 more miles at a shelter, which will be an early stop. And I got to lance the blisters on my heels and clean them up, drain them out, see if I can get them a little bit dried out tonight, tape them up. I don't want to do that while I'm walking. I don't want to just stop here and do it, because I find they tend to hurt a lot right after you pop them, and hopefully giving them the night to air out and dry out after I do, they won't be too sore in the morning. They're not a big problem, I don't think. They never typically are, but they're both under a lot of callus, so got to get in there with a pin and see if I can get the pressure out of them. So that's my lovely evening task. Try to do it in a nice, clean, sterile way so nothing gets infected, which doesn't seem very likely anyway. But it's going to be a short day, and my plan is to try to do 25s the next 2 days. And that'll get me nice and close to Harper's Ferry, where I've got a room on Tuesday night, and planning to shower and wash my clothes and resupply and all that kind of stuff there. So that's the plan. We'll see if the plan is what happens. Well, this is the permit station at the north end of the Shenandoahs. So I guess I'm officially done. This is where the Sobos would get their permits. I got mine, I don't know, 5 or 6 days ago, 4 or 5 days ago, coming northbound. So I can take the little hang tag off my pack, and the Shenandoahs have been just awesome. I mean, really nice hiking. I think, you know, if you're looking for a place to come and have comfortable, fun day hikes and good views and that kind of thing, services, this is a great area. The Big Meadows Lodge, I really regret not taking some video of the inside because there's a big, great room that was very cool. The restaurant's mediocre. The rooms were not great at all and priced as if they were a 5-star hotel. So that's, you know, be forewarned. But it's a great area. Maybe that's why they're able to charge so much. Really nice for hiking, really comfortable hiking. Made good time through here, and it's a cool area. I recommend it. But I'm done here. My next big notable is what's called the roller coaster, which is a bunch of ups and downs over a short distance. I think there's 14 of them, and that's in a day or so. So, bye-bye Shenandoahs. It's actually the next morning. I completely forgot to do the wrap-up dad joke last night. So I met a guy on the trail who asked me, what's the difference between an African elephant and an Indian elephant? The answer is about 5,000 miles.